Like, the best of these books are the boys' interactions, okay? Is their relationship, is their friendship. And in this book, we don't have that. And in Damon's book, we also don't have that. We have more in the first two books, and I think that's why those books were easier to read, and they were more fun and more entertaining. Because, okay, fuck Black Church, fuck Will, okay? Oh, he's sad and he's depressed and he's drinking, he's feeling, and he's doing drugs. He's been doing that since he was 12. Today we're gonna talk about Nightfall, book by Penelope Douglas. Have I done a video about the 3 previous books of this series? No. Will I? Probably not, because I have read those books years ago and I don't remember anything of it. But if this one by a miracle does success, then we can talk about it and I'll reread the books. So what happened with this book is, this is the last book of the Devil's Night series, which is made of Corrupt, Hideaway, Kill Switch, and Nightfall. 1 book for each of the horsemen. But then we have Conclave. We also have Fire Night, which is after this one. I haven't read that one yet. I will get to it. I was in finals week at college. I didn't have the time, and I wanted to talk about this one before we can talk about Conclave and the other one, if you guys want me to. So what happened with this book is, this book is fucking massive. Okay, we are talking about 725 pages. That was so unnecessary. Okay, so unnecessary. We did not need 700 pages of this. Okay, I think this is the biggest book of all of them. Chicat is the last book of the series, but I think we spend so many fucking pages on Black Church that we don't have a conclusion. I think that's maybe why there's Fire Night. I haven't read it, but as someone reading the last book of the series, so many fucking pages that could be gone. But okay, let's start. Okay, this book's gonna talk about my favorite horseman, Will Grayson III, and Emery Scott. We go back into the future and the present. This is the last Devil's Night that they had back in high school. So we have that going on in the past storyline. Okay, to be completely honest, I don't remember very well the beginning of this book. You can see it is divided in 2 because I have read exactly 50% of this book on my Kindle around a year ago. And then I stopped, and then I finally put my hands on the real book, the real stuff, and then I continued to read it. I read the first half of it in 2 days, and then I finished the second half in 2 days this year. Why did it took me a year to finish this book? Black Church. We're gonna get to that. To start the book, we have, I think the first chapter is the past. I'm gonna check. No, it is the present. We have Emery. She is living in Seattle, I think, Chicago, somewhere. And she's an architect, and she is doing okay. And then suddenly she gets kidnapped. And she ends up in Black Church, which is an isolated mountain fortress where healthy family secrets and their lost causes is where he kept all their dangerous men, including Yaden, maybe I'm reading his name correctly, probably not, who has an obsession with Emery Scott, the same girl who ruined Will's life Devil's Night years before. So what happened is, I don't know if they mentioned this on the other books, probably, I just don't remember. But Emery is a big reason to why the horsemen were arrested. Okay, she had a relationship, an abusive relationship with her brother, which is so, like, I get it, it is important, but fucking God, Will couldn't be more stupid. The man is literally beating Emery up every single day for years, and Will is so stupid he doesn't realize that she's being beat up by that man. And then she's like, oh, no, we can't be together because my brother, but she doesn't tell that it's the brother's problem. And then it's just like, for the love of God, please, just tell him. Just tell him. I hate miscommunication tropes, but okay. And then she kind of has a relationship with Damon, which we all love. I love Damon and Will relationship, okay? After Damon's book, it just got better because we discovered that Will and Damon, they kind of have a bromance, if you know what I mean. And it was just the best thing to ever happen to this series, okay? They go back and forth. They can be together, but they love each other, but they can't be together. And they go back and forth in the past and in the present. And that's so fucking annoying. And look, I love Will. He's my favorite character of all the books. His book, not my favorite. After we will rank the books, and I will do a little Fancast for you guys. But okay, so we find that Will is in Black Church. We don't know who sent him there. We don't know why he was sent there. Spoilers ahead, he sent himself there because he needed to grow. He needed to. Okay, the reason is so stupid. And me talking like this, it seems like I hated the book. I didn't. But the reason is so stupid. And then Emery appears there, and no one knows why she appeared there. And then we discover that Yazin, which is like the leader of Black Church, he had a relationship with Alex, which is Will's best friend, who they also fuck sometimes. After he fell in love with Emery, but then they couldn't be together, and then now they are together, and they are not anymore with Alex. Anyways, and then Yazin gets Emery's because he saw the girl he loves kissing Will at a party, and this is revealed like in one of the last pages, so you have to read so fucking much to get to that. And then we discovered that Will sent himself there, that it wasn't anyone. And then everyone, like, he misses Damon's and Winter's birth of their baby, because he's in Black Church. And everyone is like, he's been kidnapped, and everyone is like, their minds is all crazy. And yeah, it's because he's in Black Church. And I hated that in the present timeline in Kill Switch, which is Damon's book, he was also a big part of it in Black Church. Or was it in Conclave? I don't know. He's been there for so fucking long. It's like almost a year, I think, maybe 2. And it's so annoying. I hated Black Church, to be honest. And they go to Black Church in the very beginning of the book, and they only get out at like this bit. So it's so much in Black Church that could have been cut off. That is not important. That is just there for being there, I guess. And it's like, it's fine, but if I wasn't listening to the audiobook, I would have given up on this book. I just didn't, because I really love the characters and I wanted to know what happened, and I was looking forward for the train scene. Like, oh god, it was so boring. Is when they get out of Black Church that this book finally shows why he's here, why this is happening, and which is on like the last 200 pages maybe. And then we have they going back, and we have all of them getting married. They get married together, and it's so adorable. It was supposed to, Rika and Michael, they were supposed to get married on Devil's Night, and they surprised because Emery and Will get engaged, and it's Emery who asked him to marry her, which I think is good. Well, she really fucked up sending them out to jail, because in every book, I don't know if Penelope had this planned when they wrote this, but it's like in every book is the girl's fault that they were sent to jail. Like in the first book it was Rika's fault, which made sense until it wasn't, and it was revealed that it was Trevor, and that was fine. That was a good plot twist for me. Corrupt, even though I don't like Rika that much. I started liking her in the other books when she's not a main character, and I don't like Michael that much. For me, they are the more boring characters ever. Their book's the best because there's the best plot twist, there's the best structure, it's just good. Well, the other ones, they get a little bit lost. I mean, no, Corrupt is not my favorite. I think Damon's book's my favorite, though I had so many problems with that book. His relationship with Winter, I really liked that it was written, and Winter, she's blind, right? So it was very different to read a book with someone who couldn't see. But I mean, it had bits that I was like, yeah, I don't know why she keeps going, and this chapter doesn't ever ends. We get out of Black Church, they all get married together, is really cute, and then in the middle of the wedding, a fire starts, because this series actually has a fetish with fire, apparently, because every book's something set on fire, more than once in some, and they see that it's Yaden with so many people, and then Michael's dad is in it because they fight in the first book, I think. I only know we don't like him for some reason, and then they are trying to kill everyone. How fun. And then Senator Grayson, which my fan cast is, of course, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, because he's the hottest DILF alive. He appears, and everyone thinks he's gonna kill Will for some reason. Why would he kill his own grandson? No idea. I think it was very well thought, the whole idea of this book, but it was not as well executed. I liked the book. I'm not saying I didn't. I give it a 4-star. Though I think it was way better, like, it's way better all in my head than actually reading it, if that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe I'm just insane. Probably. Hugs his grandson, which was the favorite. Fuck Misha. Am I right? Oh, I need to finish Misha's book, actually. Anyway, Misha gets very important since Conclave. So in the last books, he threatens everyone, and then Michael's mom slaps Michael's father. It's kind of fun, and then Alex gets shot, and then Yaden is like, I'm sorry, my love, I shouldn't have done anything. Like this, I love you, marry me, blah, 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 blah. And it's really fun that I like that the best of these books are the boys' interactions, okay? Is their relationship, is their friendship. And in this book, we don't have that. And in Damon's book, we also don't have that. We have more in the first 2 books, and I think that's why those books were easier to read, and they were more fun and more entertaining. Because, okay, fuck Black Church, fuck Will, okay, oh, he's sad and he's depressed and he's drinking, he's feeling, and he's doing drugs. He's been doing that since he was 12, you know? So we don't get that connection. We get only in the end of the book, which is the best part. And then they're like, you're not gonna touch her until the wedding night. And it is really fun, and I have it highlighted here. I'm gonna read some highlighted sentences after. Okay, we got to the best part now, which is the train scene. Every Devil's Night book has a sexy scene which gets more hyped, because it isn't just a sex scene, it's something like a threesome. Okay, we always have a threesome, which I love. Okay, sue me. I love threesomes. Never done one, but in books, amazing. Especially because they are really friends, and it only makes it hotter. Okay, so in Corrupt we have the sauna scene, which is Maiko, Rika, and Kai Morgi. And then on Hideaway, we don't get a spicy scene, but we have a, it doesn't get to sex, but it is like a spicy kiss, I think, between Banks, Rika, and Alex, I think. Not very sure. And then in Damon's book, we have Damon Will in Winter, which is really fun, and for me is the best one. And then we have this one, which gets tied, which is everyone except Damon, because you know he has 2 sisters, so it would be a little bit of incestuous, if you know what I mean, a little bit broda, you know. But okay, we have Rika and Maiko, and Rika is like on Michael, and then we have Banks and Kai, and then we have Will just watching, sadly, and we have a lesbian moment. We have Emery eating out Alex and then scissoring. When I started scissoring, I was like, because I didn't expect it to go that far, because normally it doesn't. With in Corrupt, it was about Rika. The guys were there, but they didn't kiss, they didn't touch, they didn't anything. It was all about Rika. And then in this, they fucking scissor. And I mean, and we have some in the flashback scenes about Damon and Will and Emery watching them as they, like, I don't remember if they masturbate together, and then there's another scene where Damon blows. Well, anyway, it's really fun. I really like those interactions. Let's go to some of the highlighted bits that I have. Let me find the book. We're just gonna have highlighted bits from the middle to the end, because the other bits are in the Kindle, and I hate finding bits in the Kindle, so. Emery, okay. Present. The only person I knew to fight was for myself. I hated her. Talking about Alex. I hate her amazing body and her pretty face. And all the times I couldn't help but think about how he touched her and held her. Yet I couldn't hate her, because she was absolutely splendid, despite how she struggled in life. So, I have a little bit of a moment here. I wouldn't be mad if we had, I know we couldn't have through a three-way with Damon because he's married to Winter, but I wouldn't be mad about Alex, Emery, and Will at all, because I was about to break and I needed the hurt to push through it. I hope he did replace me tonight. Okay, this is so fun. This is about Damon, his mother, right? And Emery just happens to be at the cemetery while Damon hides the body. Who was he? God, was he crazy or just stupid? We lived on the coast. Take a boat out. Weigh the body down and toss it overboard. For crying out loud. In his black boot, he slowly lowered it to her neck and pressed it down, watching her and baring his teeth. Anger. He was angry, and despite everything in my mind telling me this was a whole horror. I couldn't run. I couldn't stop watching. And then I wrote, me too. And I think if someone is drinking a potty in front of me, I'd be like, what's happening? He could be a serial killer, a rapist, keeping her quiet forever, a predator of innocence. She might not even be dead yet. I could run, get help, and save her life. At the very least, put him behind bars. But then, he started sobbing, shaking, and grasping, and I was him. I would be him if I let Martin push me enough. So she has fantasies about killing her brother, which I don't blame her. She should have, so we wouldn't have to read so many fucking pages about it. And I like these books because they have real trauma in it. So it's easy for you to identify with at least the trauma of one character. But man, this one was so fucking long. And it's just my preference, okay? There are people who really love big ass stories. I don't. Except a girl writing a book with 500 pages. It's easier to pretend that we are in control of everything that happens to us. I've paraphrased his words. It's almost peaceful to just let it be. Because he's the pure one, beautiful thing, untamed by ugliness. He repeated nearly his exact words from the shower, and we love him for it. Turned out that maybe the horsemen aren't what I thought. And while money may pay for the consequences, it still didn't prevent some kinds of pains. He turned his head, looking at the body again. She started fucking me when I was 12, he whispers. After a while, you get tired of pretending that you're in control of everything that happens to you. He paused, turning to me again, and you start being what happens to everyone else. So this explains so much about Damon's character. He was abused by his mother, who turns out to not be his mother. In one of the books, I'm not gonna remember which one. And there is his relationship with Will, because Will, he isn't affected by all the ugliness of the world. But I mean, he is. But he covers it up with drugs and alcohol. And Damon doesn't want to lose Will because he is this only good thing that he has in his life. And when Damon felt like he couldn't have the control because his mother was taking it away from him, he started being the hell in everybody else's lives because he had control over that. And that's what makes Damon the best character, because he's so deep and everything about his psychic makes sense. And I really loved this bit. Not that he was abused by his mother, of course, God forbid that. But how everything that he does is connected to the abuse he suffered. I didn't love her, he said, almost to himself. I don't know why it hurts. He told me. I didn't love her. You did, I said, but it came out as a whisper. You learned how to love from her. He says he didn't love her, but he did because it was his mom. You know how complicated things are? They get to the school after they handle the body. The girls have spare stalls, some privacy at least. They are in the men's locker room. Clothes off, he told me, now. If Damon Torrance told me to take my clothes off, I'd be on my knees. Sorry. Okay, and then Damon's scared he's gonna get arrested. He says, I have a sister, he told me. Her name is Nick. Everyone calls her Banks. If something happens and I can be there for her, if they arrest me for this, you need to go to my house and help her. She doesn't have anyone else, do you understand? And then she asks, why are you asking me? Because he terribly hates her. Because she broke Will's heart. I'm not sure anyone else would have helped me bury a body. And then we have Yaden, which he becomes kind of like a father figure to Emery in the 5 days they are there. And Will gets really pissed off because he says, because he had more control over her than I ever did. I had to go home 10 times the man. I needed to see this through. And then my note was, I am confused. Because he sent himself to literally jail again just to become 10 times the man he was. My man, you already been arrested. I'm very confused. I wanted everyone to trust me, to depend on me. But that meant risking failure. And for a few minutes here and there, I was content to just stay here forever. Alex was always easy to disappear into. I didn't have to talk or put much up front. I didn't have to seduce her or pretend. She was my port in the storm, and I was hers. She was the only person I ever felt completely safe with. The only person I never feared disappointing, because the only thing she expected of me was to be there. But he wasn't there because he fucking ran. Why couldn't I love her? She got along with my friends. She made me laugh, and her presence was always comfort, always. She fit in my life. Watching her, I buried my fists, almost convinced I should do it. I should go and lift her into my arms and take her to bed and sink inside of her, and I shook my head, sighting. I couldn't, because every time I closed my eyes, I saw the girl who made me want to be better. More, I saw Emery Scott. Alex was like Damon. They loved me. They indulged my dark side. They were too forgiving and too enabling. They kept me from being lonely. But Emery taught me that not everything I wanted was going to come easy. That there were things I was going to have to fight for. And there was pain in this world that my shallow lifestyle in high school kept me ignorant of. She made me feel like a man. Okay, I love you, Will, she said in a quiet voice. I warned you I wasn't a happy person, and that there were so many reasons I didn't want to let you in, but the only time I ever loved my life was when I was with you. And then he doesn't say he loves her back. Okay, I mean, Damon almost killed me brutally and so badly I couldn't barely step a foot in any body of water if it wasn't a bathtub. And it didn't take me much to forgive him. That's so true. Sometimes I forget that Damon almost killed Will. Demanding obedience through intimidation doesn't encourage loyalty. Only earning it can. Okay, this is more about the romance, so we're gonna ignore that bit because I like the romance better. Joking, it needs to have a mystery, but you get what I say. There was a scene where they sleep in the same bed, and my note was 3-way ? It didn't happen, sadly. Will catches them washing each other's body. Washing each other's body. What? Washing. They're not washing each other's bodies. Fake nails. They are washing themselves. And he sees the bruises, and then he thinks Damon did bruises, so he gets there and he starts punching you. And then he says, "We weren't doing that," he shouted. "I'd rather screw a razor blade." You motherfucker. You're lucky you missed. Easy to do. And they start punching each other's faces. God damn it. Shit. You gonna stop now? I'm not in the fucking mood tonight, and neither is she. We've been through hell. It's not everything about you. Is it ever? I opened my eyes, looking at him through the blur. I wasn't the leader. I wasn't the brains. I wasn't the passion. My friends wouldn't be any less stronger without me. Oh, for God's sake, Will. I had one thing I really liked. One thing that drove me to try. One thing that made me feel like a man. Damon hooved over me watching my eyes, and I could see the red on his too. What the fuck happened tonight? Dropping his forehead to mine, he released my hands, our chests raising and falling in sync. Bad shit happened, he whispered, and I can't talk about it, but you're my best friend, so don't you ever forget. I need you, he murmured. You don't know how much we all need you. His lips hovered over mine. Heat made the room spin, and then I opened my eyes, looking over at her. She was sitting against the mats, watching us. She hugged her knees to her body, unblinking. Damon's mouth goes to mine, and when I didn't pull away, he captured my lips with his, slipping his tongue and nibbling my lip. We don't smile without you, he whispered. She doesn't smile without you. My cock hardened, and I groaned as he slid his hand down my jeans and stroked me. Emery's mouth fell open as she started breathing harder. She wasn't running. Who would fucking run? I'd be very close so I could watch it better. Maybe I'm a freak. And every second I didn't stop him. Every second she sat there, making no move to leave. I got harder and harder. Maybe she was leaving last night, all over again. Or this was the last fucking thing I could share with her. But chills spread down my body. Watching her, watching us. And I fisted his hair as he dove into my neck and sucked me dry. I groaned. I closed my eyes for a moment, pushing the worry away, just diving into hell with it. He wore his jeans open and he unfastened mine, but before I could pull him out and show her how good my hands worked, he slipped down and sucked me into his mouth, drowning me out. Slowly and strong, I moaned, "Oh God." Curling my fingers into his hair. Blah, 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 blah. She liked it. Who wouldn't? Her nails dug deep on the undermat, and she looked so hot, almost like she wanted to come over and help him to do what he was doing to me. Who wouldn't? Again, who wouldn't? Okay, she's so beautiful, he painted. Coming back up and stroking me. He bit my jaw, and she's going to hate seeing you happy without her. I wanted her to touch herself. I hoped she would. Tighter, man. Damon groaned against my mouth. This is as tight as it gets. I told him. You're not sticking that up my ass. You're right. Your dick's smaller. You should stop. Fuck you. See, this is the best part, is their relationship. And then Alex appears in Black Church. This part is better than just them in Black Church alone. And Emmy, I gotta bring him home. Help me. I know you loved him. How can everyone not love him? But she was deaf, dumb, and blind if she thought I was welcome there. I had a job to get back to anyway. She was fucking kidnapped and she's worried about her job. Okay, and then we have the famous part where Will dances on top of a table to make our girl happy because she was sad and because they had broken up. God damn it, if my head would just settle on one emotion where she was concerned, that would be fucking fantastic. I hate her, but she's mine. Go away, but don't go with him. Yaden and Alex are, and Will and Emery are. I went, and then she's talking about about Alex. I went to fuck her. I panted, nibbling his mouth. I went to drive her wild, rubbing her pussies together like animals, and screwing her until I sweat, because he needs to remember all that he'll be missing when he's sitting like a king at his dining room table someday, alone and dreaming about his naked little Viking. strangling him in his chair and fucking her mad. Because while he controls all, she controls him. The only thing more powerful than the heart is the brain, and it was so much more useful to get into your head than into your bed. I gripped Wilhel's brother into his knees less than 2 seconds, not even losing his breath. I was in prison, Will said to Yadin. A real one. Did you actually think I didn't have any of this under control? I waited. I was prepared to be as patient as possible to get you to follow. This was Will. I will raise hell and reduce this house to ash if you act like this is a choice for one more second. Now, all this time, all these months and all the fights, all the times you lost, was it on purpose? You don't have what it takes to be me. Yadin is so annoying, by the way. Okay, and then we get to the part. What are you talking about? Damon asked. What do you mean, us? What did she do? She's the reason we all went to jail 7 years ago. So what happened is, they all get arrested, and conveniently, Amari's brother finds pictures that she took of the bruises he made on her. She wanted to have proof if one day she needed. He writes a statement saying that it was the boys who beat the shit out of her, and makes her sign it to have the control over her grandmother's medical decisions, power of attorney on her grandmother. And she signed it, which I understand why, but like, I wouldn't, because that, and the boys didn't know, which makes zero sense, because if it wasn't the process and if it wasn't the hearing, they would hear of the pictures. But anyway, I guess they needed a reason, and this wasn't planned before, so that's what happened. And then I think there's nothing more important. Okay, and then he says this, and this is why I get so mad about this choice of her being the one to, you know, put them to jail, being the one hard, but you get what I'm saying. I fucking give her something to cry about. I could understand the position Martin put her in. I sympathized, but my God, was she blind? All she had to do was tell me, lean on me, ask for help. That was all she ever needed to do. Exactly. I mean, she wouldn't ask for help because she is, what is it called? When someone is pride. She has too much pride. Maybe I understood how she thought she didn't have any other choice. Her only unforgivable mistake was the years of silence since, right? Here we get to the train scene. She shook and painted, coming on my tongue, and I loved it. God, I loved it. I had a heart. I can dive and feel. I knew that now. I was free. And now it was my turn. Climbing up, I sucked off my lips and lifted her leg, sliding my right one underneath it and putting my left foot next to her hip. Holding her leg with one hand and planting my other behind me for support. I stand to rub my pussy against her, riding on her fast and feral, chasing the goddamn itch inside of me. Oh, fuck. I heard Kai Girl. I leaned back, rolling my hips, turning to the side, just a hair so I could feel a little. I looked over at Kai and his wife, her eyes closed, her back against his chest, and his fingers deep inside of her, as she reached back and wrapped her arm around his neck. He bit her ear and she turned her head, sinking into his mouth. Erica was naked, facing me, with her fingers dug into the stall, and Michael devoured her neck and slid inside of her from behind. He watches you like Yadin watched me, Alex said. This isn't for him, I whispered. This was about us, her knowing that I saw her, and me knowing that was more to myself than I knew. That I could go to the edge. It was that I was more than I thought I was. Don't come, I demanded, riding circles into her and feeling her heat mix with mine. I want more. I'm not done with you. I am not done. Will says she fit with us. She was made for us. And then Michael and Kai suddenly feel a punch in their faces by Damon. He inhaled a deep breath, fixing the lapels of his suit jacket. I'd rather not walk in on my sisters in some weirdo Bacchanalian sex fest ever again, he stated. Understand? I keep forgetting those are his sisters. And because they're super hyper mega smart, they decide to set fire in a part of the city that I don't remember the name. And Will was arrested. And then, because that was part of his big, amazing plan. My boy, you're not very good. And then Emery has to break him out of the cell because he's Will you marry me? I don't know if she... Will you marry me? It must be Will, not his name, Will, the grammar bit. I love you. I'm wild crazy for you, and I'm sure I will kill you at some point, but God, I love you so much, and I want you to marry me. Marry me, Will Grayson. Can you marry me? Can I marry you? Mine. My precious. Okay, I love the bit where they all married together. And then Michael yelled, I'm marrying Little America Fane, motherfuckers. And let's go for... Oh, it's not here. This book doesn't have the prologue in it, but I read it on Penelope's website, which they say Devils, Night, Be, Lilith, Never Eat. It's really bad. Okay, I cannot read it, but they say Be Lilith, Never Eve, because there's a little girl on this. Athos is her name. Most random storyline ever. But Michael and Rika, they adopt her, and then in her 18th birthday they're doing the conclave, which is where they settle the problems down, and then someone wants to marry her, and then she says Be Lilith, never Eve. And it's like one of those famous lines of the book, like La Pelle de Vide, which is a beautiful line. I know even before the book, because I've been to France before, and there was this headstone with the phrase on it, and it was really beautiful. So overall, I enjoyed this book very much. Will continues to be my favorite character. I missed so much his relationship with the boys, and more of Emer's relationship with the girls. We have them trying on the wedding dresses and all of that, but still wasn't enough in my opinion. I think we lost so much time in Black Church that could have been spent with their relationship being built. But overall, it's not a bad story. It's just too big for my liking, but I know some people really love big stories. So I'd give a 4 out of 5 stars. And my order for the books is is Kill Switch, Corrupt, Nightfall, and Hideaway. Sorry, Kai. I didn't. It's because I don't know why I did not enjoy it that much. I think it was kind of boring. But I love all this series and I love all these characters, and it was an amazing ride. And I'm really excited for the last bit. I think it's 60 pages only. And let's rank the characters. So for the male characters, I would rank Will, Damon, Michael, Kai. I know people are gonna kill me because everyone hates Michael. And everyone loves Kai, but I'm like, I love Kai, but he's the more boring one, in my opinion. And then for the girls, is really hard. I'd rank because I don't like Rika in her own book, only in the other ones. But I think Amory, she's the most alike to me. But okay, Amory, Rika, Winter, and Banks, I guess. I don't know, for me they all kind of sound the same. And for the Fancast, okay, for Will is the easier one because it's that guy from TikTok, which he even has the fucking dogs, and his dogs don't have the ears tied, which for me is torture for the dogs. So deeply in love with him. And then the other guy for Damon, I think he's the hottest man alive, and I'm not even kidding. He's the fan cast of Damon. I think it's Caden, his name, and he even has a tattoo here, which is 3 skulls, just like the original Corrupt book cover. Is insane. For Kai, the TikTok guy, I like getting actors, okay, but it's not happening. I'm getting the TikTok fan cast, which is he actually fights like Kai does, so I think it fits very well. He is from the Asian ascendancy, so I think it all fits perfectly. And then we go for Michael. Michael is the hardest one. There is this guy on TikTok that people say, oh, you're not Michael. No, he's not. I would say maybe Jacob Elordi, if he was like stronger. I know he's very strong. But I always imagine him because we know that Michael is like 191. So he's the tallest, and I know Jacob Elordi is very tallest. I think most people won't agree with me on Michael, but Michael is a really hard one. No one ever agrees on Michael, so that's fine. Okay, so for Rika, for me, it has to be Ser Esposito, which she did Elite on Netflix. She's just so perfect. Love her. For Amory, I think of Isabella something. I always forget her name, but I'm gonna put her picture here. She did Love Victor, or the other Isabella, she did Madame Web. Yeah. And then we have Winter and Nikova. Okay, Nikova, I always think of Kaylis Cordedario when she was younger, but she's a little bit too old for her right now, but I don't care. Effie from Skins, that's Nikova for me. And for Winter, there's the TikTok girl, but I don't think she fits it. I really like Anya Taylor-Joy for her. I think maybe it's because of the hair that is very dark, but I think she's too, I mean, I imagine her as Anya when Anya did The Queen's Gambit, but with her blonde hair of now. Because I think now she's too, I don't know if she did plastic surgery. I think I'm not calling her ugly, for the love of God. She is amazing. She's super talented and beautiful. But her face changed a bit and she looks older because she's 30. And the characters are not 30. Ella, come on. but you get what I'm saying. So her or younger, but I accept incomes for winter. I can change my mind on winter and on Michael. The rest is sad. You will not change my mind on it. So sorry. So I think that's it. I think we ranked everything. We talked pretty much about everything on this book. We can go on more if you'd like. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day. Bye, bitches.